Welcome back. You're watching the Property Guide on ET Now. Both of our guests are still with us, and we're talking about making investments in the real estate market in India. Now, continuing our focus on Tier 2 cities this week, we take a look at the Lucknow real estate market. The city, known for its rich cultural heritage, it also draws a lot of interest from top national developers. Let's take a look first at the prices with Avan, and then we'll come back and talk about whether or not you should be investing in Lucknow. Avan.
Thanks for that, Faye. Well, residential property prices in Lucknow have witnessed a steady up move over the last 2 years. The property prices in Rai Bareli Road, which is being upgraded to a 4-lane corridor, has witnessed a 22% appreciation over the last 2 years. The homes here are currently priced at 2,925 rupees per square foot. Now, on the other hand, Jankipuram, one of Lucknow's prime residential suburbs, has witnessed a whopping 47% rise in its prices in just 2 years. The home prices here are currently priced at 4,275 rupees per square foot compared to 2,900 rupees per square foot in 2011. The upcoming suburb of Gomti Nagar has witnessed a 20% rise in the prices over the last 2 years. Homes here are currently quoting at 3,350 rupees per square foot. Sultanpur Road, which is the location for a proposed IT park, has witnessed a sharp 45% rise in the prices in just 2 years. The home prices here are currently quoting at 3,300 rupees per square foot compared to 2,275 rupees per square foot in 2011. With that, it's back to you, Faye.
All right, Avan, thank you for that information. Karthik, when you're looking at Lucknow right now, is there enough interest being generated by buyers for us to consider that as an investment option?
You know, as the capital city of India's most populous state, you'd expect that there's always going to be a lot of economic activity in the capital city, as well as a lot of interest from both end users and investors. But we haven't seen the same level of interest over here the way we'd see in certain other capital cities across different states of India. I suspect some of this lack of interest is on account of slower than expected infrastructure growth. We've been talking about a metro rail link over there for a little while. Obviously, the Yamuna Expressway going from Noida all the way to Agra and beyond has helped, but you know, that's not in the vicinity of Lucknow. The Lucknow-Agra link has also come up. That's about 270 kilometer stretch, but there hasn't been that much of interest that a lot of developers have shown for this. There could be a variety of reasons why this is occurring. It could be for reasons related to politics or the slowdown in the real estate market over the last 12 or so months.
It's a soft market there in Lucknow. Gulam, there are two types of people who would be buying in Lucknow. Those who already live there and are upgrading their homes, and people who live in the big cities but are emotionally attached to Lucknow in some way. Would you recommend the second group of people buy right now, or should they be waiting for a little while to see some sort of change in that market?
Well, this will obviously be more on the second category that you're talking about, because Lucknow enjoys a close proximity and good infrastructure connectivity with various of the other cities of UP. Like, for example, Kanpur obviously is an hour and a half of travel time to get into Lucknow. So those who are in Kanpur would obviously want to invest in a place which is better placed than their own city, and then Lucknow definitely is the choice. So whether it is Rai Bareli, Kanpur, and quite a few of these cities which are closely existing and connected to Lucknow, and well, there's always this possibility of high-end individuals of these cities looking out for good investment opportunities, and hence looking at Lucknow for that. And that is something which has been a good market for Lucknow all along, and going forward it shall remain so.
Well, Karthik, let's talk to end users right now, people who live in Lucknow who are possibly looking at buying their first home or upgrading the home they already live in. What's your advice for them? What neighborhoods do you think will benefit most from maybe the infrastructure focus the government may give it over the next year or so?
Well, in an ideal world, you want at least minimum infrastructure of some of the arterial roads leading to some of the downtown hubs of Lucknow to be conveniently located to where you are. So a couple of the projects that we have looked at in the past and recommend to our clients are DLF Garden City on NH24B. It's very reasonably priced as well as a starter home at about 2,100 per square foot. Another project that people can consider is El Deco. It's in Vrinda Vihar Yojana, and there's about 850 or so units that the project had launched with. These are priced at about 3,300 per square foot. So both these projects would be quite suitable for somebody who's looking to purchase their first home, as long as some of the basic infrastructure around road access is convenient enough. But beyond that, I'd stick to some developers who have a brand. I'm sure there's a lot of local developers in the Lucknow area, but there's probably some merit to sticking to brands like DLF and Eldeco, who have had a history of developing projects in and across the country, and Eldeco has been very active in UP as well for many a decade. And these are two brands that we're very comfortable with. All
right, I have one very quick question for Ghulam. Ghulam, we were talking about DLF, which has launched a sort of a studio apartment type of system in Lucknow called MyPad City Centre. Do you think it makes sense as investors to pick up something like that? Is there going to be enough demand in a place like Lucknow for smaller apartments?
Well, we have seen that smaller apartments actually make sense where there is sizable floating population, which could either be because of students or because of, say, IT, ITS industry employees. So many of these youngsters who come straight away out of their colleges and hostels and get into professional world. These are the kind of market segments that you would normally address when you're talking about doing studio apartments. In Lucknow, neither of them actually have a sizable component. IT, ITS is still at its nascent stage, and education-wise, it's still not a place where you will have students coming in hordes and taking admissions, etc. So at least to me, it looks a bit outside the market realities. Doing studio apartments in Lucknow at the moment may not make too much of an investment sense, at least.
All right, doesn't make an investment sense. And of course, you had Karthik there giving you a list of projects that you could consider. But here's a recap of homes in Lucknow and projects that you can consider if you're looking to buy. If you're looking for a home in Lucknow, here are some options. Garden City by DLF, Shibagyam by Eldeco, Sushant Golf City by Ansal API, Gomti Greens by MRMGF, and Parath Adyant by SDR Infrabuild. We have a question from Debrata Mukherjee, who wants to buy a 2 or a 3-bedroom apartment in the NCR with a budget of 1 crore rupees. Please give me some options. Well, Karthik, 1 crore rupees is a nice, comfortable budget for maybe Noida. Would you recommend he considers Noida?
Yeah, I think to Mr. Mukherjee, I'd say 1 crore is an ideally suited budget for projects in Noida. He can look at Supertech Romano, he can look at ATS Pristine, and Mahagun Mirabolis. All these are projects that are coming up in different sectors where the price is very, very in touch with reality. Unlike Gurgaon, where the prices have really rocketed up quite extravagantly, Noida is still fairly affordable. And these are 3 projects that Mr. Mukherjee can look at to start off with. Visit the place. There's a whole bunch of options that are coming around other than these projects as well. But I feel pretty comfortable sharing these names with him.
Time for us to take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about Bangalore and Kolkata. Email ID is at the bottom of your screen. Don't go anywhere.